I used to be stuck in a never-ending cycle of client content creation, my own videos to create, cooking, cleaning, driving the kids to their practice, and I was basically working 24/7 around the clock. But I felt like I was failing at everything, especially since I was the only person running my business and my household as well, but my husband helped, yes, but it still was a lot. So I felt guilty, stressed, and completely overwhelmed, guys. Hey guys, I'm Raquel and I help digital product creators use AI and Pinterest to get traffic and sales without ever having to be on camera. So if you want to grow your business, simplify content creation, and finally create consistent sales without burning out on TikTok or Reels, guys, this is a place for you, okay? So go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss tips on AI tools, faceless growth strategies, and Pinterest systems that actually work. So guys, back to my burnt out story. So guys, I basically stopped trying to do everything manually and I became obsessed with using AI tools for my creative business. So in this video, I'll show you my favorite tools I use for content creation, and stay tuned to the end because I'll show you how I use this exact process to get over 1.7 million impressions quickly on Pinterest in just 90 days, which is one of the best ways to get evergreen traffic to your digital products. Okay, so guys, let me start by saying that AI is here to stay. AI is very important to help you get your work done much faster. And I know a lot of people are pushing back on AI. It serves a purpose, right? So it helped me and I have embraced it and I'm using it to save time and spend more time with my family. So guys, if you agree, type agree in the comment section below, right? So let me show you how I use AI, Canva and Canva AI for social media content creation. Okay, so I'll just jump to the screen right now. Okay guys, so I would like to show you how I use Canva and Canva AI to cut down my work that I have to do. So for clients work, for my social media clients, let's say I have to do something or promote this perfume. Okay, so I would normally go to Elements. I'm already in Elements. Okay, and I will scroll down to generate own. So I'll probably ask them to, give me an image of a beautiful woman. Okay, and dressed in expensive attire. All right, so basically I will use a square image. That's fine. Let's just go into style, and for style I will choose a photo style. Then I will select on generate image. So they have a lot of people using it now, but this is fine. So basically what I do, I would normally just use the image here, right? And that will basically give me, the image of a luxurious woman, or I can use her as well. So position that, go back, and then I have, something sort of promoting what the product that I want. Okay. Another way in which I would do something like that is by asking it to have the woman pointing. Okay, so I can go back, the product, where expensive attire. Right, so we will generate this image and see what happens. All right, so I really don't like this attire, but let us just work with what we get so far. Okay, so let's work with this image here. Now, of course, and another thing is if I really don't like the background, we can easily click on the background and remove background. Okay, let's say expensive dress. Let's say evening dress. So this is how we can easily remove the background in Canva, right? And I will show you how to replace the background. So we have this one here. I like that. Oh, I like how she's holding the product, but we cannot put anything here. But she's pointing. I like the way she's pointing, so let's work with that one. Okay, let's try to remove this product in our hands using Canva Magic Grab. So you go into edit and magic grab, and I want to just remove this and click on grab. So once you get the flow of this, it becomes like, it's like nothing. So you position this. I know it's not perfect, but bear with me. Position this. Let's go back and we bring this forward right here. Right. So we will position it something like this. We really don't have to place it in our hands exactly, but we can position this something like, like this. Okay, and of course we can highlight it by going to edit and go into effects and do a nice outline, and probably a white outline, and there you have, the effect. Right, so this is really cool. Okay, so this is not the best picture, but it basically gives an idea of what we're looking for, right? And over here, remember I promised to show you how to replace the background. So let us go into elements, and I will let's look for so we're looking for office background. It's not exactly what I'm looking for, but just to match her attire. So this is how we replace the background, right? And then you position backward, right? Yeah, this doesn't match, but well, you guys know exactly what I'm trying to do. But I reposition her as well back, okay? So we want her back, and the pointing is not ideal, but you get the point. Okay, we can also ask ChatGPT to, probably let her point a certain direction, a certain angle, a certain degree, something like that. But I like to highlight my products, so I will go into edit again and effects, and I prefer to use the white outline, or you can use a different color. It's completely up to you. And there you go, you have your product here. So this is one way in which I, work with products, okay? And so basically instead of looking or asking the company for models and so forth, I basically use Canva's image generation app for that, okay? AI generator. I also use NanoBanana, which is, you guys know, Google's newest image generator. It is in Google AI Studio, all right? So it is right here. It is also called, actually real name is Gemini 2.5 Flash Image, right? So you can also find that in Gemini tool as an option, right, to create images. So basically, what I do, I can upload the picture. So let's use this one, and I can, oh, sorry, did I select? No, I didn't. Okay, so I have to select NanoBanana first, and of course, insert the picture. So let's just continue with and ask it to generate an image with a beautiful, luxurious woman holding this perfume, sorry. Okay, and let us see what NanoBanana, will provide. There you have it. Okay, it is looking very good. So this is an option. This is also an option for you guys. Okay, right. So let us look at the full version. So there you go. It is beautiful. Look at this. This is beautiful, right? And of course, you can do so many things with NanoBanana, but this is not a NanoBanana tutorial. All right. But if you wanted a tutorial just on that, let me know, okay? And so this is one example of how I use NanoBanana for my content creation. Of course, you can do so many other things with NanoBanana, but this is just one. And I can also ask, okay, so guys, are you loving this? Look at this. Wow, right? And she is holding that. We can also ask it to change the color of the dress and blah, blah, blah. But as I said, this is just an example, okay? If you want, you can upscale, but for this, for this, I think it's okay, right? But you can upscale it if you like, all right? So I will go into Gemini right here. I already have a prompt that says, please give me Instagram prompts for the following images. You can add more detail if you like. Then you go into upload, all right? So you go to upload and you upload your images right here, and it will give you prompts that you can easily copy and paste into your content calendar or straight into your Instagram scheduler or Facebook scheduler, whichever one. Okay, so there it goes. You see how easy that was? So if you have more images, you just upload all the images together and it will give you the prompt. So you can probably guide it on the hashtags and whatnot, but see how easy it is right here. You can also ask it to give you more than one prompt, etc. Okay, there you go. See how simple that was? Okay, guys, so let me talk about blogging and how I use AI in my blogging strategy. Okay, so basically, what I do, well, my blogging strategy is a little more detailed than what I will provide now because I really don't want to have a very long video and I really don't want to bore you. However, what I do is that with my YouTube video, I simply go in after I post it, I will go to YouTube and copy the transcript. Then I will go to ChatGPT or Claude. Most time is Claude because I really like how they format they create blogs with my transcript. Okay, I'll ask Claude or ChatGPT to create a blog with my YouTube transcript, and I will take that and I will kind of browse through it, not in detail really, and I will remove what I don't like and insert so I'll post it, of course, to my website and add my YouTube video. Okay, so that will help with SEO. I'm not a SEO guru, so I will ask Claude or ChatGPT to give me the metadata and all these things that's needed for SEO, and I will simply insert that because I do not depend on SEO for my traffic. I basically use Pinterest for that. So then after creating my blog, I would then ask whichever tool I use, which is Claude. It could be Claude or ChatGPT. I'll just continue with the chat and ask them to provide me with Pinterest title as well as a pin description, right? For using the same keywords, etc., so that I can create pins and my pin description and everything, so everything will have the same keywords. Okay, so when I get that, I will then use that to create my pins. Okay, so basically that is my blogging strategy. So it's very simple, right? And of course I use, when I'm creating blogs that doesn't rely on my video or I don't have a transcript, I use a prompt for that and I ask Claude or ChatGPT to create a humanized blog for me. Okay, and of course I would go in and make some changes sometimes because, as I said, I don't rely on ads and I don't rely on Google search. So basically I use affiliate. I do some affiliate marketing. However, most of the time I try to get traffic from my blog back to YouTube, right, and to my digital products. Okay, so basically that's my main focus. All right, so now that I have a huge traffic now to my blog, I am adding a lot of affiliate links. So in the next 4 months I'll be pushing affiliate links so that I can get some sales, as well as I'll be getting my digital products sold. Because with this strategy, within 3 months, I was not even pushing pins, and I actually, in 1 month, let's say 2 weeks, I think I can't remember, I think I did a video on that. Yes, I did a video on that. I got 2 sales. So basically I got 3 sales from my blog on using Pinterest, and I'm not even pushing digital products really. So now I see what is working. I will be pushing my digital products on Pinterest, and of course not a lot of products, but I will be pushing my products. Okay, now let us move into my Pinterest strategy. Right, so guys, it's a very simple process. If I'm repinning or I need keywords, I'll basically search using Perplexity. Right, I used to use Pinclicks. Pinclicks, however, is very expensive. I stopped using it because it's like $29 a month. So it's very expensive. So if you can afford to subscribe to Pinclicks, please feel free to do so because it's very good. If you cannot, then you can just use what I use, which is Keyword Everywhere, which is very good. And Perplexity, you can use Pinterest itself. And you can also use Pinterest trends. I actually got blogs that went posts or blogs that went viral from topics that I got from Pinterest trends. So I think Pinterest trends is very good. You should not ignore that. And of course, on Pinterest trends, you want to pay attention to the keywords with the little globe next to it or the little magic ball next to it. These are the ones you want to pay attention to, because these are the ones that will make your post go viral. All right. So you want to pay attention to that. So that is basically what I do. Then I love to create new posts, right? So in my strategy, I really don't stick to a certain niche, right? I work with an avatar. Okay. So basically, if some people would say, okay, if you're pinning about digital products, just stick to that. But I don't. I pin about other things that digital products sellers may be interested in, because they are also women. And to me, that is how I actually get a lot of traffic on my blog. All right. So basically, I use Canva AI to create my pins. So I use Canva AI a lot now. Before, I used to use ideogram, but for some reason ideogram is not as attractive anymore to me. I use a certain feature on Canva. I'll just show you here the feature that I use. It really gives some beautiful pins, and I know Pinterest is marking pins as AI generated, but I really don't care, because I think that if I go into Canva and create these things, the pins manually, it's time consuming, right? So I simply use Canva AI to create these, and I also brand them. So whichever pins go viral, it will have my brand on it. And when people save it and reshare it and so forth, it will also have my brand. So that will go viral, okay? Right, so that is a strategy. So people always get back to your blog and know that, and basically it will let them know that you are the original person, okay? So I've had a few pins that went viral, right? Without even trying. And I will probably pop them on right here on the screen so you will see. Okay, I know the gurus would say pin 20 pins per day, but guys, I cannot pin all these pins per day. So sometimes I will pin 5, sometimes I will pin 10, sometimes I pin 3, sometimes I was very inconsistent in that amount. However, when I sit down to create pins, I try to create 4 at a time. So I will not go into 4 at a time for one post. So I'll not go into detail how I schedule these. Okay, yes, there are schedulers that you can use, and I used to use pin generator. I don't use pin generator anymore. I would probably use it now for the busy season coming up, Christmas time. And of course, if you can afford Tailwind, go ahead and use Tailwind. I think Tailwind is very good. They have some new improvements or new addition, right, to their app. However, I think Tailwind is a little pricey for me, and since you're just starting a business, I think you should probably, if you can afford it, go ahead. But pin generator is just fine. However, I am currently pinning manually to the Pinterest platform, because you can pin 4 weeks in advance. All right, so that is good enough for me. So I just go ahead. That is how I was able to get 1.7 million impressions in three months, right? Just by using the Pinterest native platform to pin my pins, right? To schedule my pins, right? So basically, it's nothing fancy. Of course, there's more details that you'll have to pay attention to. Of course, there are more things that I did, the research and the pinning and so forth. However, it is not as time consuming as the professionals or Pinterest pros are making it. Okay, so I think the best way to get traffic to your products is Pinterest, right? Whatever product you're selling is Pinterest. And of course, YouTube. Yes, I've made 1 or 2 sales from YouTube, and that's fine, right? I'm still trying to experiment with Instagram, and how I plan to do that is by using an avatar. So I will not be using myself. I have created an avatar, or several avatars. I'm not sure which I'll choose yet, but I have created avatars, and I'm hoping to create sales, right? However, it's just a test, right? And that is how I'm using AI. So I've created an avatar with several AIs I'm making my avatar move. She's very realistic, not the cartoon ones that you normally see online. So she's very realistic, and she's not me, not my face. Okay. So very realistic, beautiful, and let me see if she can sell better than me. All right, so I'll keep you posted. And of course, I will be batching creations to put out on social media, and I will mainly be using Instagram for this. Okay, so yeah, I will keep you posted. So if you want to know how I'm doing this, guys, subscribe to my channel. Okay, also my Pinterest strategy, if you want the full details on how you can quickly get traffic. And you know what? Even a pro was impressed. He was like, how did you do that? So if you want to know my strategy, I will be doing that in a 5 days workshop. Basically, it is not a face-to-face workshop. It's something that you can instantly do. So every day you will receive information, a PDF, and you can implement, and you will be able to implement what you've learned. Okay, it is that simple. And trust me, it is not as hard as you think, and it's not as soul sucking as you think. Okay, so guys, so this is my simple Pinterest strategies, nothing fancy, but this is how I use AI to simplify everything. And of course, you may say, oh, it's not much AI. Of course, it's not, right? So for creating pins, I basically use 2 AI tools, which is Ideogram and Canva AI. And for research, I mainly use Pinterest trends as well as keywords everywhere. And sometimes I use Perplexity. Okay, so it is basically that's it for now. Of course, you know, there are new tools coming on, and you can always try these new tools, right? And I will be trying those new tools, and definitely I will be, you know, giving you feedback, such as the new NanoBanana that came out. Yes, I tried it and I think it's beautiful. I use AI like this to create content very quickly. But the truth is, if you sell digital products, you need traffic to get actual sales. So my Pinterest strategy has generated over 1.7 million impressions and sent 22,000 people to my website without me having to ever show my face on camera. So I teach this exact system in my Pinterest without a face workshop. So the link is below. Okay, guys?